Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've sort of taken a break from the Disney live-action remakes, but I will do my review for the Alice Through the Looking Glass movie, which I had seen once before, and then I went to rewatch it again, thinking, oh, maybe it was as good as I thought it was the first time, and actually it was not. So it's probably on par with the first Alice in Wonderland movie. It's not that great. So let's go ahead and get into my review for Alice Through the Looking Glass. So the movie opens with Alice in Pirates of the Caribbean, like she's on a ship, and it's clearly like on a green screen, and she's just on like a ship and like in front of a green screen. It's like supposed to be like a storm and everything. It's supposed to show like how like what of a captain she is, right? Like that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to be a merchant, and so it just opens up with that. And then like she gets into town, and apparently she's lost everything. And the guy that she was supposed to get engaged to in the first movie is like, I think he's engaged to somebody else, but he's kind of like a grudge against her, and so he's like having his dad like take away her ship and everything. And so she's kind of not in a good headspace. I do like the follow-up that we're like following this, like her actual story in the real world. It takes a long time. It's like 20 minutes of this before we even like get towards Wonderland. And I don't remember like what brings her to Wonderland or why, but we get there, and then like she's like has to like steal the looking glass from like the timekeeper guy played by Sacha Baron Cohen, who's like this mechanical clock time guy. And he's just kind of a kooky character. I guess he's kind of like replaces like the Knave of Hearts from the first movie. He's kind of like a kooky character. I don't really like him. All of his stuff is kind of boring. And again, it takes quite a while before we get to meet the familiar characters that we know. So we're dealing with all of this stuff with Alice going through his like clock house and getting to the looking glass, and then also like the clock time thingy is like the chronosphere, I think is what it's called, maybe, like, and everything like that's like breaking down, and like time, and like his little robots have to like repair it. It's very weird, all of this stuff. Okay, so then Alice has to go like back in time, and I think all of this is to like save the Mad Hatter, if I actually remember correctly. She has to like save the Mad Hatter, so she has to go back in time to figure out why the Mad Hatter's sad. And this is actually this kind of stuff that I do like, is this back in time. We get the backstory of the Mad Hatter, again played by Johnny Depp, and we see his father, and they're called the High Tops, and his father is played by Otto Hightower from House of the Dragons. So we meet them, we get the backstory of, you know, the Mad Hatter. He's always been kind of a little cuckoo, but his dad didn't really like it. Or his dad was like super strict or weird or whatever. And then we also get some backstory on the Queen of Hearts and her sister, the White Queen. And we see why they hate each other, or why the Red Queen hates her sister, and also why her head got so big. Like she fell because she was mad at her sister because her sister lied about something, eating tarts or something, the tart crumbs, and it was the White Queen that dropped the tart crumbs by the Red Queen's bed, and the Red Queen got in trouble because the White Queen lied. And I forget their name. I don't remember what the White Queen's name is. The Red Queen's real name is like Erisabeth, which is kind of like Elizabeth, but not like Elizabeth. So it's kind of cool to see their backstory and their interactions and everything, and then how that kind of ties into their relationship going forward in the future of like trying to mend their relationship. So she runs away as a kid. She falls and bumps her head, and because she's so enraged or something, her head just starts to swell, and that's why she got a big head. But it is kind of interesting seeing the Mad Hatter's story. We learn about his people, who like their village was like burned down and everything. And all that's like pretty good, but then of course there's like this race against time, and Sacha Baron Cohen's timekeeper character, or whatever his name is like captured by the Red Queen. And honestly, I don't really remember whatever happens. So yeah, I thought I liked this movie the first time I saw it, and it is interesting. It does kind of hold your attention once you kind of once you get into Wonderland and get to it. Once we learn, see all the characters that we know and like, but a lot of stuff is just very plotting, very hard to like, what is going on? Why are we doing this? Again, the stuff in the beginning of her personal journey of trying to save her ship and her house and everything, that is interesting. I like that we're following up with it, but we didn't need like 10 minutes of her at sea or whatever that was. Like, we could have like condensed it a little bit better, I think, and gotten to Wonderland a little better. We could have explained or just gotten rid of the Timekeeper's whole storyline thingy, whatever's going on with that. But yeah, I do like seeing the backstory. We see how the queen got crowned queen and they couldn't find a hat for her head. And all that's interesting. And again, we learn her name is Erasabeth, and we see her parents and everything. So I do like all the backstory stuff. I just think the overall plot and the sort of MacGuffin, the Chronosphere, is just a bit too much. I never read the book Alice Through the Looking Glass, and I didn't really read Wonderland either, but I was familiar enough. I read parts of it, and I was familiar enough with the story. I have no idea what Looking Glass is, what if any of that is in the movie. So I just feel like, and to be fair, this movie did make less than the first movie. So Alice Through the Looking Glass made about $77 million domestically and $222 million internationally, and it made just shy of $300 million worldwide. It made $299. So it actually did less than the first movie, and I can understand why. I think first off, I think people were excited to see the first movie, so they went and saw it, and then they realized it wasn't that good. And so I think less people were inclined to come to the second one, and then the second one also not being very good. I think that's why they just kind of stopped. They just kind of killed the franchise. I mean, but it's not like the worst movies ever made, I don't think. I do think at times, again, the Tim Burton direction of it all kind of is not great. So it got a 29% shy of 300% on the Rotten Tomato score. That's not good at all. But 48% for the audience score. So I guess the audience were a little bit more positive than the critics were on this one. But again, not the same as the first movie. And again, I like parts of it. Like, I just feel like once we get into the backstory element of figuring out what's going on with the Mad Hatter and then the Red Queen story, I like all of that. That whole like chunk in the middle, I think, is really good. It's kind of getting there that takes forever and is a little confusing and kind of boring. Sacha Baron Cohen, I don't really care for what he's doing here acting wise. I like the actresses that play the younger versions of the Red and White Queen, and I like Helena Bonham Carter as the Red Queen. Again, I think Anne Hathaway's kind of miscast, but she's a little bit better here, I think, because we know a bit more of their backstory and everything. But again, the sisterly bond, I think, comes off a little bit better in this movie, whereas the first movie, it was like, what's going on? So, yeah, so nobody really liked this movie. Nobody saw it. And I don't know where they would have gone if it did well and they wanted to do a third. I don't know where you would go. So, it's probably for the best. Yeah, anyway, so I don't really have any more thoughts. That's Alice Through the Looking Glass. It's not great. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I'll try and keep continuing to do my Disney live-action reviews. The holidays are coming up, so I'm probably not going to be doing too many more reviews. Probably a lot of family stuff going on. But stay tuned on my shorts feed. I'll keep doing more shorts. Those are, I don't want to say less time consuming, but I don't have to be on camera recording, so it's a little bit easier to do the shorts, and I'm having fun with them. So anyway, stay tuned to the channel. I will be doing Percy Jackson coverage when the show comes out. I was planning on reviewing the books, the sequel books, but I don't think I'll be getting to that before the show comes out. But I will be doing weekly reviews of the show when the show comes out, so stay tuned to the Percy Jackson Son of Poseidon podcast feed, because I will be updating that once the show comes out, and eventually I will get to more of the books as well. So stay tuned to the channel for more updates. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't leave the tart crumbs by the bed and lie about it. The whole Red Queen thing could have been solved. Bye.